Have you ever had one of those moments where you stop in the middle of your day and think, why am I even doing this? Maybe it's something you've been doing for years out of habit, without ever questioning whether it still makes sense for your life right now. Living alone after 70 can be wonderfully freeing. You can set your own schedule, keep the house exactly how you like it, and enjoy peace and quiet whenever you want. But here's the thing, some of the routines, habits, and even beliefs that served us well years ago can start to work against us. And the tricky part? We often don't notice until they start causing frustration, extra work, or even putting our safety at risk. That's what I want to talk about today. Because life after 70 isn't about just getting by. It's about making choices that make sense for who you are now, not who you were 20 years ago. And sometimes, that means letting go of old habits, rearranging the way we do things, and yes, even questioning whether something we've been doing forever is still worth the effort. One thing that doesn't make sense for so many people living alone in their 70s is holding on to a house full of things you never use. I'm not talking about the special keepsakes, the wedding album, the box of letters from your kids, or that little teacup your grandmother gave you. I'm talking about the broken toaster you swore you'd fix one day, the closet full of clothes you haven't worn since the 90s, or the garage stuffed so tightly you can't park your car inside. Those things don't just take up space, they take up energy. Every time you need to find something, clean around something, or shuffle things from one place to another, it's another drain on your day. Living alone means you have enough on your plate without turning your home into a storage unit for Sunday projects. I know it can be hard to part with things. Sometimes they carry memories. Sometimes we tell ourselves we might need them just in case. But here's the truth, every item you let go of makes room for easier movement, less cleaning, and a calmer mind. I've seen people transform their daily lives just by clearing the clutter. Suddenly the living room feels more open, it's easier to vacuum, and there's less dust triggering sneezes. And here's the bonus, someone else might actually be able to use what's just sitting in your closet. Donating or gifting items can feel surprisingly joyful when you know they're helping someone else. Another thing that doesn't make much sense after 70 is skipping meals or just grabbing a snack instead of eating a proper lunch or dinner. I get it, cooking for one can feel like more work than it's worth, and it's tempting to just make a cup of tea and call it a meal. But here's the problem, your body still needs steady, balanced nutrition to keep your energy up, your immune system strong, and your muscles healthy. Without enough protein, vitamins, and minerals, you start feeling tired, your skin and hair lose their shine, and you might even find yourself catching colds more often. And yes, that creeping weakness when you try to carry the laundry upstairs? Often, that's the slow result of not eating enough nourishing food. Cooking doesn't have to mean spending hours in the kitchen. A pot of vegetable soup with beans or chicken can last you for days. A plate with some whole grain bread, cheese, and fresh fruit can be a complete meal. Even just adding an egg or some nuts to your breakfast can make a difference. Think of food as fuel, not just something to get over with. Living alone can be an opportunity to eat exactly what you like, and the way that makes you feel your best. You just have to decide you're worth the effort. And then there's the habit of doing all the heavy chores yourself because you always have. I know the mindset. Why pay someone to mow the lawn, scrub the gutters, or carry in heavy bags of soil when you're still capable? But here's the hard truth, even if you can still do those things, it doesn't always mean you should. Heavy chores come with higher risks as we age. Falls, muscle strains, or overexertion can knock you off your feet for weeks. And the recovery time after 70 is so much slower than it used to be. Sometimes the smartest, strongest thing you can do is to delegate. Hiring a neighbor's teenager to mow your lawn once a week or asking a friend to help lift heavy boxes isn't a sign of weakness, it's a way of protecting your independence for the long haul. Because the fewer injuries and setbacks you have, the longer you'll be able to take care of yourself. When you start letting go of the unnecessary, whether it's extra belongings, skipped meals, or risky chores, you open up more time, more space, and more energy for the things you actually enjoy. Living alone after 70 should be about comfort, safety, and joy, not clinging to routines that no longer serve you. Watching and feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Sometimes the strangest thing about living alone is how silent it can get. At first, the quiet feels peaceful, no one interrupting you, no background noise, but after a while, you might notice it's too quiet. Our minds and hearts need a little hum of life around us. It could be a radio playing softly in the background, the gentle clinking of cups at a cafe, or even just the sound of leaves rustling outside. When you're alone all day, the silence can become heavy, and it starts to feel like time itself is dragging. That's why creating small moments of sound in life, inviting a neighbor over for tea, playing a favorite old song, even chatting with a cashier, can change the whole atmosphere of your day. It's not just about hearing something, it's about feeling connected. Another thing that doesn't make much sense when you think about it is how much we sometimes avoid our own kitchen. You might catch yourself eating more packaged snacks or ordering takeout just because it's easier. After all, cooking a big meal for one person can feel like too much trouble. But here's the thing, your body still deserves nourishing, beautiful food. In fact, it might need it even more now than ever. Preparing a simple, wholesome meal for yourself isn't a waste of time, it's an act of self-respect. It doesn't have to be complicated. An omelet with fresh herbs, a bowl of hearty soup, or even just a plate of sliced fruit can make you feel cared for. And you know what? You are worth that effort. And then there's the matter of certain just-in-case habits we fall into. Maybe you've been keeping every single grocery bag, old container, or pile of newspapers for years, thinking you might use them someday. But living alone after 70 often means we have less space and more need for a home that feels open, safe, and easy to move around in. Clutter doesn't just take up physical space, it can weigh down your mood, too. You'd be surprised how much lighter and freer you feel when you let go of the extras you don't truly need. Plus, it makes your home safer. No more tripping over that stack of magazines from 1998. There's also the funny contradiction of how we tell ourselves, I don't need to dress up, I'm not going anywhere. At first, it feels like freedom, no one to impress, no rules. But after days of living in the same comfortable old clothes, you might notice your mood starting to dim. Clothes have power. Putting on a bright scarf, a nice sweater, or even just combing your hair can instantly lift your spirits. It's not about vanity, it's about reminding yourself you're still here, still vibrant, still someone worth showing up for, even if the audience is only you. Finally, one of the strangest things about living alone after 70 is how easily we can lose track of time. Without the routines of work, family schedules, or regular visitors, the days can blend together until suddenly it's been a week and you can't remember what you did on Tuesday. It's not that we're lazy, it's just that life flows differently now. That's why it's important to create your own gentle structure. A short walk every morning, a phone call every Thursday afternoon, a special meal every Sunday, small markers that give shape to your days. These rituals don't just keep you organized, they give you something to look forward to. One more thing that can be surprisingly puzzling about living alone at this stage of life is how our world can shrink without us even noticing. Maybe you used to go to the library, the community center, or the park every week. But now, you might find yourself staying home more often, not because you can't go out, but because it's just easier not to. The tricky part is that the less you go out, the smaller your life feels. It's not about going on grand adventures every day, but about staying engaged with the world outside your walls. Even a quick stroll to buy fresh bread, sitting on a park bench to feel the sun on your face, or chatting with a neighbor on the sidewalk can keep your world open and your heart light. Then there's the habit of thinking, I'll do it later. When you live with someone else, there's a shared sense of keeping things in order, dishes get washed, mail gets sorted, plants get watered. But living alone sometimes means tasks get postponed because, well, no one's there to notice. Over time, those little laters can pile up, and suddenly you're overwhelmed. The truth is, doing small things right away, washing the cup you just used, putting the keys back in their spot, keeps your home calmer and your mind clearer. It's not about perfection, it's about making life easier for yourself. And perhaps the most important thing that doesn't make sense is believing that you don't need people anymore. Some of us think, I'm fine on my own, I don't want to bother anyone, or I've managed all these years, I can keep going. Independence is wonderful, but so is connection. We aren't built to live entirely in isolation, no matter how strong or capable we are. Having people to talk to, laugh with, and share moments with doesn't make you less independent, it makes life richer. A quick call to an old friend, joining a small group, or even inviting someone over for tea can bring a warmth to your days that you simply can't get from the TV or the internet. So, if you find yourself nodding along to these doesn't make sense moments, know this, you are not alone in feeling them. The quirks of living alone after 70 are shared by so many others, even if they don't talk about it. The key is to notice them, smile at the irony, and make small, intentional choices that keep your life full of connection, purpose, and joy. After all, living alone doesn't mean living lonely. It means you have the beautiful freedom to shape your days exactly the way you want, and that's something worth celebrating every single morning. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video, and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean a lot to us and give us the motivation to keep spreading positivity and practical advice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support truly helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.